And now as we come to the end of this year, some people are asking me what I'm reading for the holiday and what am I preparing to work on next year. I'm certainly, just for myself, rereading a great book called The Politics of Life by Craig Crawford. It's called The Politics of Life, 25 Rules to Surviving a Manipulative and Brutal World. It's kind of Machiavelli's The Prince for this era. I'm also reading, it's vocational, but it's also just helpful, just sort of reintroducing me to my own craft and what it is that I do for a living. Exploring Religious Meanings. This is a compendium of articles and work. And so this is primarily for teaching purposes, but again, it's more of an entree to help give me the necessary foci for teaching students in the coming semester. And then my next year, I will also return to teaching professional and business ethics. So it'll be great, again, to get back into the classroom. Um, a last reflection and thought. I was speaking with a gentleman yesterday in the barber shop. Very, very intelligent, very, very engaged brother in politics, and we were just talking about a lot of things. Um, Different television shows. Everyone knows how I feel about certain shows and certain programming. And he expressed to me, I had no idea that he was a political operative, but he expressed to me his perspective on my congressional run. And it was great to hear an insider's perspective on it. And what he said really moved me, and it was a sort of a great way to end the year in terms of looking back on things over the last few years in general. And he said to me essentially that he understood what I was doing in seeking the first congressional seat. He understood that I was trying to save the GOP from itself by pulling a right wing party from the right back to the center to being a just right of center party, being fiscally conservative, but at the same time being socially progressive and being cognizant of the fact that we live in the 21st century. To engage a new type of um, intellectual curiosity as Americans, to engage a new type of politics. That's what I was doing on the right. And then he also noticed what I was trying to do on the left was actually hold accountable a so-called Democrat and a professed liberal who in no way has actualized a progressive agenda in the fourth poorest congressional district in the United States of America. The fourth poorest. The first congressional district in North Carolina is one of the poorest parts, one of the poorest portions and regions of the United States. And if you were to even speak to persons who support our current representative behind closed doors, they will be the first to tell you that in the East we don't have a champion. And in the inner banks we don't have a champion. And in the outer banks we don't have a champion. And what I was seeking to do in a very dangerous way was to try to avoid giving in to a maniacal fringe while being able to gain the nomination of a party which, at least on paper, in some way has the redemptive qualities to help people while holding accountable a party that supposedly champions a robust middle class, champions the working poor, and helping the working poor have increased access to capital and upward mobility. In other words, a strong middle. He saw that, and I'm glad that he saw that, because that was something that I could never really outwardly discuss, because unfortunately,